Here's the deal. Millions of miles traveled across the globe. Thousands of concerts attended. Hundreds of thousands of records and concert tickets sold as a music store owner. Some people listen to music. Some actually live the life and survive to tell the tale. This is the autobiographical life story and rock and roll adventures of Max Baker Jr. Sponsored by MedCards Made Easy. Visit MedCardsMadeEasy.net and the Fabulous Baker Boys. Always hiring. For more information, call 405-417-7656. This is the Here's the Deal podcast with Max Baker Jr.
I am Max Baker Jr., and this is my story. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
What's good? My name is Yellow Wolf, Catfish Billy, and here's my pool stick in your grill, and here's the deal.
Hello, I'm Charlie Crockett, and here's the deal.
Hey, this is Jeff Keith from Tessa, and here's the deal.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Jelly Roll, and here's the deal.
Yeah!
We got to see how good Jeff's lip syncing is.
You know who we're missing from that?
I was trying to throw you off a little bit.
You know who we're missing from that?
Who?
We don't have Chips Enough, and we don't have Mama Wolf on there.
That's true.
We need to do that.
Yeah, I need to upload those.
Didn't you just talk to Mama Wolf
Yeah.
today?
She's my new phone pal.
How is Mama Wolf?
You know, it's amazing to me to I've met that woman before a couple times.
She's a very nice lady.
And she's got some good business minds with her, and somehow or another the clouds have collided, and we know each other, and we're talking about doing a collaboration of things, and I'm going to have her on the show, and
So you're going to put out a bluegrass hip hop record?
You never know.
Mama Wolf and Max. So now hold on. Wasn't Yellow Wolf going to sponsor your scooter?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that.
Uh-oh. What?
I sent Jeff a video today.
Yes, you did.
We found your new scooter, bro.
Oh, wow.
This is a 212cc scooter.
Now you're talking my lingo.
It flies.
It sounds like one of the. You know what it sounds
Two
like?
stroke.
Like one of Bryce's. Motorcycles.
Hey, I'm all about it.
And it hauls ass.
It does.
We'll have to wait.
You would get in trouble on it.
We'll have to. Well, listen, that's what I'm made for.
Can you imagine this thing doing a burnout wheelie through the casino?
Yeah. Going from one machine to the other.
See, that's the first thing we'd have to do is take it to his brother Greg. Greg would have to put wheelie bars on the back of it to keep Max, because Max would pull a wheelie all the way through the
full
place.
Throttle, buddy. Full throttle.
I can perform for tips.
And I can
see the big boy with the Mad Max with the 212cc wheelchair. Come see him as he rolls around.
Hi, this is Ramone here, and when I'm in Oklahoma, I party with
the madman.
Mad Max on his scooter.
He's coming back.
I can see you doing donuts around the machines in the casino.
Hey, listen, we would do a lot more.
So you know what he does now? So like whenever we're down in Texas and we're doing one of those big floor bills or whatever, there's a lot of surface
I noticed
area.
on the new one, this blue one, you've taken your guardrails off. Your armrests have been.
Oh yeah,
removed.
I've come without.
Is that for aerodynamics? To pick up more speed?
No, it's for in case I need to roll off.
You got to bail out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so on his other blue scooter, the arms fell off.
Right.
When he was driving from somewhere to somewhere.
That's when I hit the wall.
If you notice, this one's a 3-wheeler. The other ones are 4-wheelers.
That's right.
So it's but he still has no problem running over your feet with it.
Yeah, well, you got the safety tip wheels.
Yeah.
So technically, it's
listen,
it's a 5-wheel.
I've almost went over.
That's the one you rolled, wasn't it?
No, that one wasn't.
Is the other blue one?
Yeah. The bad thing with me is the seats. I need to be able to have them reupholstered because, you sit on them for a long time, the padding goes out. It's not very good padding.
And it rides in your truck in the elements, basically.
Hey,
you
dude.
know,
Here's what you need. Here's what you need. You either need someone to make you a comfortable like a boat seat or like a tractor seat. Something that's meant to be out in the weather. And something that you can be tough with.
Instead of saying, she thinks my tractor's sexy. She thinks my wheelchair's sexy. Oh, yeah. Come on over. She thinks my wheelchair's sexy.
well, you're gonna need. At
why
very
we don't-
minimum, you're going to need some LED lights and a sound system before they think it's
Hey,
sexy.
maybe one day somebody that said they'd pimp my chair will. You know, we'll just leave it at that.
That was Yellow Wolf, wasn't it?
I'm not saying. It's none of my business.
Okay.
So
I thought.
I don't know if you cannot disclose the name.
Well, it wasn't
To protect the innocent.
It wasn't Jelly Roll. He didn't promise to do that for you.
You know, but let's move on.
Okay, one question. Are you still going to run it through the wall?
Although, for all you people out there, you know, we're going to talk about, Jay's wants to talk about new music, live music, and what we perceive on the horizon. I can tell you right now, for me, new music, there's 4 songs out right now by Yellow Wolf from his new double album that's going to come out called War Story. And I'm telling you right now, kids went and did it again.
So is it classic Yellow Wolf, or is it more like Sometimes Why?
It's all time. It's classic, but it's all like there's this one song with him and DJ Paul. You know, the cool thing about these guys is same with
Where is Yellow Wolf from originally?
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay.
So
He's a
you know,
Southern
so
boy.
you take DJ Paul and Yellow Wolf, their song right now.
3-6.
It's about that song's pretty deep into pills, fentanyl, dying, you know, and then you just had Jelly Roll who spoke to the Senate,
Bro,
you know.
let's
did
hold
an
on.
outstanding
But before
job.
we go any further, let's talk about that for a moment.
Let's talk about
because
that for a moment.
shit hit me real hard.
Hey, listen, dude, he spoke from the heart, and it's real. If you live it, you know, my son's mother was like that.
My 2 older brothers were both addicts, and it was something that they struggled with for a long time. And just like most people, one of my brothers I know for a fact, it started out with he got hurt working, went to a doctor, and that's what they prescribed him. And then it snowballs
from Max,
there.
We'll fix you up. Your leg hurts. Here you go.
So the thing that hit me the hardest is the snide comment from the committee chairman when he's introducing Jelly Roll. And,
Yeah, like he's some dummy.
Yes. He says, I bet you this is the first Congress committee hearing you've ever been a part of.
Well, I bet it won't be the last.
And he handled it like a champ.
You're talking to a felon who rules.
When he just unloaded it, he said, I've never been in one of these and never thought I would be. And he says, I am not.
But he spoke nothing. He spoke from the heart.
He said, I am not a political person. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. And he says,
I don't vote.
He said, I don't vote. And he said,
says,
matter
"I
of
can't."
fact, because of my past, I can't vote.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
He said,
Right.
He said, which
Welcome
is
to
all
America.
the more reason that you should
That's like
listen
he couldn't
to
even
what
buy.
I have
He
to
couldn't
say.
even buy a house, you know.
It was unbelievable. And then he started dropping facts and statistics.
Well,
and they couldn't do anything.
Before that, he also said, and I know how weird this must seem, that an ex-drug dealer is coming here to talk about this.
Right.
Because he laid it all out there.
Laid it all out.
there.
Every
and was
bit of it.
honest and said what needed to be said. And that
You
is,
know, and
that
I
is
mean,
what is so
you
powerful.
can take
made me a bigger fan than I
you
already
can take
was.
it for what it's worth, but
Agreed.
it's reality. You know?
100%.
And just like this song with Yellow Wolf and DJ Paul, listen to it. It's reality. You
Well,
know?
dude, the 3-6 camp just went through this
Right.
with one of their former members who just passed away last year from an overdose.
Well, let's all realize this. Fentanyl is not just being sold on the street. It's being prescribed every single day in hospitals from coast to coast, border to border. That fentanyl is being run through those hospitals.
If I'm going out, my biggest fear, I ain't going out like that. You know?
That's That's part of the Stones song.
I ain't
not
going out like that.
Ain't gonna die in the
You
dirt
know?
in a dirty
I mean,
motel.
it's
It's not gonna
just-
be like that.
It's but you got to give it up to the guy,
100%.
and to be able to, he's to me, he's a modern day Johnny Cash
He is.
all the way.
And he's-
Jelly Roll is a modern day Johnny Cash who spits a message of no other.
And
Genuine, sincere.
Right.
He paid his dues based off of how he looks and the genre of music he came from. Not one fucking person gave him a chance.
No.
Nope.
Not one.
They all gave up on him.
Well, they had to jump on board because
No.
listeners and people who really listen to music were grasping towards his message.
How he broke, though, is when he wrote Somebody Save Me during the pandemic.
Yep.
Put it out as a fluke, did it all himself.
There wasn't a studio recording of this. That was recorded live
Yeah.
or whatever in that
Him
studio.
just
and,
doing it.
and it was
Right.
shot
Yeah.
for YouTube. It
Right.
wasn't meant to be a single, but that song resonated with so many people at that
'Cause it's a very
time.
Still
powerful
does.
song.
Powerful song.
Still does. But, you talk about, now we're talking about music. Now we're getting on the level. This is music that makes you feel in your soul.
But now the cool thing is we have been an opportunity to see Jelly Roll when he's not performing for people, when he's not in front of cameras or whatever, and he's a genuine person.
He's just as genuine.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
It's not an act.
It's
No.
not an act at all. I mean, and
You
what a
know.
super
I've
nice
interviewed
guy.
so many artists over the years. You can read through the bullshit immediately.
Immediately.
You can tell that if
Immediately.
they're there just working or if they're a genuine human being and having a real conversation. And it doesn't matter. If they're there working, that's fine. That's their job to
Right.
promote their record. But when you really come across somebody who's real and genuine and they're just, they just want to kick it.
Hey.
And
Bo
Real-
Diddley, Hank
Real
Three,
recognizes real.
bingo.
Exactly.
And you nailed
Exactly.
it. Bo Diddley.
Yeah,
Hank Three.
It all
I mean, these people are as real as they get.
And I'm one of those guys. You're one of those guys. You're one of those guys. I mean, hey, it's but it's the message that you carry.
And that man carries a good message. And
So buy the new Yellow Wolf love story. Also, Jelly Roll's working in the studio. He's probably got music coming out. I know he's playing.
and
We want to talk about live. He'll be everywhere.
everywhere.
And
And you know what I like? I like Jelly Roll saying about there's a reason why the rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield, because where you're looking needs to be bigger than where you've been.
It's just, what are some of the shows, what are some of the bands you want to see, Jay?
Well, I bought tickets for Bad Omens the day they went on sale, and I think it took me 9 minutes to get all the way through the purchasing process.
And where are they going to play?
Tulsa Theater.
Okay.
And,
The old Brady.
And the show is sold out, and it sold out pretty quick. I was unable to get pit tickets, but I was able to get lower level. And then I bought tickets to go see Tool on the 3rd at the Paycom when they went on sale.
That's coming up.
Yep.
And here's the thing. You're talking to three guys here that pretty much, if we pulled the right strings, we could go anywhere. But as Jay just said, he bought, as a fan of music, tickets. Me, as I am a fan, it is my passion, it's my love, and it's what I live for. Purchased tickets to Mr. Big. I've purchased tickets to the Rolling Stones. I've purchased tickets to Ryan Bingham.
You've got a stack of tickets, don't you?
I do.
Of upcoming shows.
But the thing about it is, though, it's shows that I'm not going to miss. And then you look at it like, and there's some good shows coming out there if you want to be classic, vintage, or just get out. I mean, think about this. You got Living Color playing in a 300 seat.
Bro.
Isn't that wild?
How cool is that?
In
So that
Beer
was-
City.
That's one of the shows I wanted us to talk about. Living Color coming to Oklahoma City.
In a
Incredible.
300-capacity club.
Beer City Music Hall. It's going to fucking slay.
I'm
like,
going to
it
be
is
there.
going to be
I'm
awesome.
going to be there.
It'd be like a cult of personality.
I mean, it's you're talking rock royalty there. You know, then you've got
they opened for the Stones. Remember that?
89 Steel Wheels Tool the whole tour. I got pictures of them from Kansas City.
I had to say that because I saw the steel wheels over there on the wall.
the other part, you got Mr. Big coming to the Diamond on February 23rd. You've got
And you guys have already said that show is incredible.
right.
Yeah, go see
I
that.
mean,
Go see that.
it'll be, and plus they're singing a song they wrote about Oklahoma City. How many bands do that?
And I want to see that Taj Farrant up at the Canes. That kid is
kid
awesome.
at Canes.
That kid is
and then
awesome.
You guys were saying that Tower announced it because I haven't seen that yet on their page, but I saw the
he's
one
doing
from Canes.
2 days.
Christoph Kingfish
Yes.
is playing both. I got to see one of them at least.
And also at the Tower, they've got Samantha Fish coming back.
She's great.
I mean, if you really want to see some badass good.
Beth Hart at the Tulsa Theater.
Oh, wow.
Well, I
And
saw
then
your sisters got the show with Bush and Candlebox and
Jerry Cantrell.
Cantrell.
That's close to his home.
That's
Who
going
else
to be
they
a
got?
family
They
reunion
also
show
got-
for him.
All the way.
Hold on, let's see if we can do this. And she's also got those brothers playing.
The Johannes brothers.
I knew it.
You're a
I
dick,
knew it.
Jeff.
I knew it. He knows it now. Say it right.
Jonas brothers.
See,
But for the longest, I thought it was Johannes.
you did.
You probably called them the Johannes brothers to them.
Yes, get on stage. Get on stage, Johannes brothers.
We need the Johannes brothers over here right now.
So, and then if you want to get busy, you've got the Eagles. You've got the Eagles and Steely Dan.
Eagles and Steely Dan.
Right. I mean.
Now, which one passed away? Is it Donald Fagen or Carl?
Walter Becker.
Walter.
Yeah. I mean,
and is Vince still with the Eagles?
You look
Yep,
at you look at that, and then you got they just announced Janet Jackson and Nelly. I mean, if you really want to get the stuff,
Is that the same show?
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
Shit, I want to see that.
Yeah. And then what else? Tom Kiefer and L.A. Guns.
Yep.
At the Diamond.
Kiefer never disappoints.
No. And then, then you go up to Tulsa if you're still in the 80s. They got Lita Ford in the last in line at
Lita
Shrine.
Lita
luck.
Ford
That's
always
sold
puts on
out.
a good show. Lita Ford's always great.
Armored Saint, Hard Rock in Tulsa. What else? One I won't miss is going to be Saxon and Uriah Heep at the Glass Cactus in Dallas.
Bro, when is that?
End of May. It's the last day of the U.S. tour.
I want to go to that.
The bus is going.
Saxon.
Okay, so we both saw Saxon on the Steel. What was it? The Strong Arm of the Law tour, and the what was the other one that came out right after
Wheels
that?
of Steel.
Wheels of Steel.
Did you guys go to the show that was at whatever that
We did Cheap Trick
club
Iron
was
Maiden
a
in
few
Saxon,
years
wasn't
ago?
it?
'Cause-
Here?
Yeah, didn't they come here?
Yeah, it was my show was Tony Saxon.
Who else was on that
I
show?
done a bunch of local bands. There was one where it was Saxon and Bozzy. And
Wasn't there a Saxon and Fastway show?
that was with, it was Iron Maiden, Saxon, and Fastway.
I thought it was Cheap Trick Iron Maiden.
No, Cheap Trick, Cheap Trick, Saxon, and Aldo
the
Nova.
Nova. And then
They were all in the
playing
same
somewhere?
summer. Saxon played Oklahoma City.
Saxon played with Cheap Trick?
Yes.
Saxon played 7 times in one summer in Oklahoma, in Norman.
They were like with everybody.
They played
so
with
was Cheap Trick.
They
that
played
year.
with Cheap Trick, Aldo Nova,
Nova
and
and
Saxon.
Saxon.
They played with Iron Maiden, Saxon,
and
and Fastway.
Fastway.
They played with Rainbow and Saxon.
That's right, they did.
They played with Crocus and Saxon.
There was someone else on
And
that
then
show.
there was one other one.
It's like the Headhunter for Crocus, I think. Headhunter
No,
album.
that they played with except
Wow.
Saxon
With
and
Udo.
Except the balls to
And
the
then
wall tour, wasn't it?
because how I know is I'm talking absolutely 100% love Saxon, and to the point where I lost thousands to play him I have a bootleg video somewhere we'll have to dig up from the Will Rogers Theater that they played at with Forte.
You know what?
Man, I bet that was a great show.
Here's what we need to do. We
I
need to
had
get
13
some of those.
bands open. It was a long show.
Listen, we need to get some of those bootlegs that you've got, and we need to get them on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then people can like and subscribe to that.
And so
Well, that's how you get flagged for copyright.
Oh, it's not copyright.
Yeah.
You got to create a burner account and upload them there.
Oh, really?
yeah, but how can they be copyrighted if they're over 30 years old? They passed the limitations.
Somebody probably owns the publishing rights to that music.
There's no in concert. Something to check into.
Yeah, BMI ASCAP wants some money for it.
Back to Saxon is just like that. Then there's those package tours that are coming out that
Didn't you say Aldo Nova was coming? Didn't
No,
Samantha?
Aldo Nova's playing again. To me, I would love to book Ace Frehley and Aldo Nova together.
Wow.
Well, now see, that's just a fantasy. Can you live that fantasy life?
Hey,
Oh no!
but I think it'd be a good show.
The Space Ace and Aldo Nova.
It's off the cuff,
It's something a little different.
Right.
There was supposed to be an Alice Cooper and Ace concert.
There was, but it never came this far.
It never happened. And then it was going to be Alice and Peter Frampton, and then that didn't happen.
And then you look at now you look at the stadiums this summer, the ones I know of. What is that one?
Pink.
Def Leppard, Journey, and Steve Miller in Texas, and then you've got Green Day, which is going to be doing that album Dookie, and the other one,
American Idiot.
Yes,
In their entirety?
and then their entireties with Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid, which will be pretty good.
Who we doing the floor for next week? What show is that?
Oh, it's just for the Baptist Church Convention.
Oh well, that's not.
We'll
really
need to have you out there.
That's not really a concert.
I'll need you out there with your buckets
Buckets of what?
and your robe of Christ.
Oh my gosh!
You're gonna have to dress like Jesus for that.
Yeah, wasn't Jesus' beard white?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
and we can find you some rope
He
sandals.
died when he was like 32 years old. How the hell would he have a white beard?
Well, people also
Oh,
think he was brown
Jesus.
hair and blue eyes.
He
so,
lived
I mean,
fast. He lived
He
fast.
did not have. He was.
Jesus lived fast, dude. He
He
lived
didn't look like
fast.
Fabio. He didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. What are you talking about?
Hey, those illustrations.
Oh, you're talking about the picture that hangs on the wall. Listen,
Yeah.
Jesus.
when they bring an actual photograph,
Hey, Jesus is real.
iPhones didn't exist back then, Jeff.
they
Jesus
didn't.
is
But those
real.
Polaroids that you sit there and hold and shake, they did, right?
Okay, so
Well,
you're
they
gonna-
would have faded away
you're,
by now.
You're gonna love this. That's one of the things that my son put on his Christmas list was
That's what?
a Polaroid camera.
Oh, wow.
Because they've made a comeback,
Right.
and now you can
Like
buy
the instant ones
Yes,
that
yes.
They
Wow.
pop out.
Wow, I still have 3 or 4 of those left somewhere in a
Man,
box.
I've got the cameras. I used to do good with them on the road with the Midnight Dolls and the Polaroids.
Yeah, because you could sell those for $10 a piece.
Yeah, all the way.
And
you
then
know?
all you have
You
to do
knew
is
that each package of film that you had was $100 every time you opened it.
Well, that's what they also sent the prisoner on good behavior around to take the pictures with your relative who is locked up in prison. Except those were a 20 spot.
Well, no, I can tell you when we had a band one time and we played out there at El Reno.
That's the federal pin.
Yeah, well, the people that booked us, they sold photos to get the money to have us come out there.
Didn't you and Carrie go out and do that
It was
show?
Carrie Staten, Johnny Walker and Rev Jones was the band.
All the usual suspects. Those guys.
We went out. They had a flatbed trailer, and we ripped it
Wait,
down.
they played on a flatbed at a federal prison.
Yeah. 4th of July weekend.
And it was Johnny and Carrie and who?
And
and Rev?
the crazy part
I could
about
just
it,
see this.
I was the driver, and I had 2 girl roadies.
You were the driver of the flatbed?
No, the van.
Oh, okay.
I brought 2 girl roadies. Just to
spice
liven
things
it up. And
It's another Max Baker
And
special.
so,
I love it.
I had a heavy metal radio show one time for, I don't know, 5 years or so, and used to get requests from the federal prison in El Reno all the time.
oh wow.
And these prisoners would either call
Song requests?
Yeah, they would either call collect, and instead of saying their name, because it would say, you have a collect call
Right.
from an inmate at blah, blah, blah correctional facility.
Right.
And it would say, from inmate named, and they would just yell,
Joe
play
Smith.
Pantera, or whatever. Well, then their request
That's pretty.
their request got a little more detailed, and so they had their wives email me their requests, like, hey, Johnny wants to hear System of a Down, Icepick wants to hear Pantera,
Oh,
this one wants to
wow.
hear Machine Head,
Wow.
And we suggest you play them.
Yeah.
no, dude, they were all really, really nice, and so they got to put on a concert themselves. Like, if they behaved, they got to have one-on-one time with instruments.
Oh wow.
And so
Good conduct.
yeah, good conduct. So
'Cause they don't behave, kids
got,
behave.
They got to let them jam, because they had been so good. Well, let them put on a show for some other inmates who had been good, and they took the butcher paper from the cafeteria and drew my show's logo on it, and that's what they hung up behind them while they played.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they took pictures and mailed them to me and
Wow.
everything. It was awesome.
We would like to see a
I
photo
wish I
of
still
this.
had them. I put them in the
Jay.
public file for the radio station because you have to put
And it
that
was
stuff.
for
Right,
that.
right.
It
No,
was
I
for
get it, I
that
get it.
Rogers. State-
No, bro, right here in Oklahoma City, homie.
Oh wow.
Commercial radio, just not the cat.
Oh, is that the station you work for now?
Yeah, I work with a cat now.
Yeah.
Do you really?
No, you know what though? I could see that. I mean,
Dude, it's one of the coolest
you
things
know,
ever.
that, but
You want
That
to
is-
talk, you want to
that
talk
is-
about an
that
but
is
the
honor?
crazy part about when those boys played at the prison,
It's wild. You even
was
pulled that off.
there was a dude there. He had the whitest shoes I've ever seen. You could ask Kerry Staten as my witness, and he kept asking, "Hey man, can I jam guitar? Can I jam guitar? Can I
Was
jam
he
guitar?"
was he a prisoner?
He was an inmate,
Okay.
and
With
somehow,
white with
somehow,
real
or
white
no-
shoes.
somehow or another, we got him to where we didn't put him on the stage. We put the guitar with the long cord down on the ground, and he sat there, and that dude ripped it down, dude. I'm talking like
So was he with a band before he got locked up, or
he
is he just a-
said he less liked to play guitar. I didn't ask him.
Just one of
you know,
those guys
because
that-
you got to understand, we were in a prison.
No, I
You
get,
know,
no, I
I
get
mean, you know,
a federal prison.
You got to make sure that like I said.
I'll be honest, Max. I'm still like in shock that you guys even pulled it off
We
because
did.
that is there's
We-
so many hoops you have to jump
We
through
did.
to do that.
We did. It was in the
they,
90s.
they just don't let random ass dudes, especially like you guys in
We-
federal prisons.
What happened was
Unless
they're
the
like,
judge
you
sits
got
you
any
there."
beer or illegal drugs on you? And we were pulling on Johnny goes, I haven't finished my beer yet. So I had to drive back around and drive down into El Reno.
So the
let
Johnny
him
could
fix
chug
his
his
beer
beer?
so he could drink the beer and throw away the cans.
So we're going to go visit my brother, and this was in Cushing. So nowhere close to the maximum security
Right.
there at El
your-
Reno.
But
It's
your
still
brother was in-
prison.
But it's still a prison.
Okay.
And we're in the line, and here comes the dogs and all that because they're sniffing every car before you even pull into the parking lot. Before you got to give them your paperwork and IDs.
Oh,
who are
yeah.
you- and they got to see if you're on the list and all
Yeah.
that. And the car in front of us gets popped. The dog
sits down?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. And those
when
people,
that dog just sets, you know it's all over.
you're fucked, right?
That Don't want that dog to sit down. Keep him moving.
I just remember my dad going, as soon as that dog sat down, he just went, "Oh shit, they're in trouble."
That's something you don't want to do, you know. But let's talk about music.
Oh yeah. Music.
So, what you know?
Not federal prisons.
Okay, so the show that we were talking about right before we started this, that was just announced last week or this week, 4 shows at the Mercury Lounge with Evan Felker of the Turnpike Troubadours.
Going back to his roots.
Now, Turnpike, they're playing 2 shows this weekend.
They're playing
correct?
2 shows this weekend at the Paycom.
At the Paycom.
Yeah.
One of them is sold out. Is the other one sold out?
I think the first one is. The second one isn't.
Okay.
Not quite yet.
So it'll have already
Friday and
played by the time
Saturday.
this comes out.
And so the Mercury Lounge holds what? 70 people?
Maybe 200.
Dude.
I think they sold them for $250 is what they said.
Golly, that's going to be elbows to assholes in there.
So
it's going to be packed.
You got $250, 4 shows, 1,000 people.
Wow.
And each show has a different opener. And on February 15th, the opener is John Moreland.
Gosh, that's the day before my birthday.
I tried to get tickets. I did not.
Well, you know what? Here's what I found out about events like that.
They sold out fast.
Here's what I found out about events like that. If there's a will, there's a way. You know, it's just sometimes you got to line the cards up, and maybe you have to do it solo or whatever. But if you really want to get in there, there's a way to get in there.
There's always a way.
Here's what's really cool. You could only buy 2 tickets.
So is it a fair sale?
Yes. You
don't get the tickets. You got to get them at the door.
You got to get them at the door.
Just like the Stones.
They are non-transferable. The person who
You
bought
have to be
them
there.
has
You
to
with
be
your
there.
ID.
Yeah.
Yes.
And none of this, the dog
The
ate
cool,
my ID or
listen,
whatever.
but here's the other part, Jeff, and you know this as well as I do from doing Turnpike at the Canes. What if you're just a person out there standing in line looking for tickets, and a guy like me comes up and says, "I got one. You want to be my one?" You know. I mean, it's worth a try.
Damn right.
And for me, if I like somebody that bad, I'll sit outside and listen to it. You know. And I've done that too.
Many times.
Hey, but some of the best tickets I've ever got was in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, and
last minute.
I remember getting what was it, like 4th row center section to Guns N' Roses and Alice Cooper down in Texas.
In Texas, yeah.
And I didn't have a ticket when I went up there, and the show was sold out.
Right.
And pull up there in the parking lot, and I don't think I walked 50 feet.
Here's how you do
and
that.
I bought those tickets.
Back then, that's how I would do it. I'd roll up, and one hustler would hit me, and I'd go, "I got the best money. I want the best seats." And, you know, and then they'd try to sell you their shit. You're like, "Hey, I'm out." You know, just keep walking, keep moving. And then the next thing you know, if they were together, all of a sudden some dude would appear out of nowhere that had the best. You know,
see, Max back in the day would really hustle. He'd be going by and go, "What you got? What you got? Nope. What you? No, that ain't gonna work. Come here. One time. What you got? He's like an auctioneer pulling these people to the side. Don't tell me that price. Nobody's gonna pay that. Go away.
Or I'll wait 30 minutes and you'll drop your price to nothing. When the door's open, I'll give you $5.
Back in the day, you would toy with those guys because you were one of those guys,
right?
So it was all fair game to you.
You know, but here's the thing: they didn't know that.
Yeah, I've seen you get scalpers where they're sitting there competing with each other to get the price, and Max is just sitting there goating both of them on. Well, you know, you know what? If you're going to go that price, I'll buy 3 instead of 2. And the guys are like, "Well, what will you get for 4?" Max like, "You know what?" But I've seen you sit there and work scalpers against each other. It's pretty funny.
Hey, you got to know the business.
But in the end, we walk in and saw the show.
But the fact of the matter is, what this all boils down to, what this podcast is always be about, and it always will be, is the fact of the matter is we love music. We love real live music
with bands that play their own instruments.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, with bands that play their own instruments, and if they mess up a lick, they mess up.
And you know what? That's great because that way we know it's live.
The fact of the matter is, I don't need somebody hitting the tape.
No.
And trying to, that's all good, but when I was growing up, I guess, they punished people like Milli Vanilli for that.
Oh, they still do.
took their Grammy away. Now they give them out in stride if you don't know how to play.
But no. They're punishing these people that lip sync now on YouTube because now there's videos of them
but
doing
still,
it.
though, does YouTube, the punishment on YouTube, go so far as to take away your Grammy?
No, they just bust it where you keep playing it over and over and over.
They ruined those guys' lives.
They did.
Ruined them.
Well, one of them committed suicide.
And the German producer guy who wrote it, he just got rich off of it.
Right. But the fact of the matter is,
and he's the one that did it.
It's like people don't think about that, and and it's we're also some of the last of the Mohicans because who's going to sit here and tell you tales of your life, good or bad? What about music, radio that you're into, the art, the other thing, people dying. Like the dude, the last DJ that Tom Petty called him, Jim Ladd, the god of all gods. He's gone, but think of the legacy and the things that he created and how much his voice and opinion took people down so many paths of trendsetter.
I'd love to listen to those Jim Ladd things when they came on back in the day because as before the internet.
Then you had that other dude, Redbeard.
Redbeard was
Dallas.
badass.
Those guys didn't cut you no
Was
slack.
he on Zoo Rock or was he on Q102?
He was on both.
On both.
Yeah. He started it. Well, there used to be 98 KZW.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's where they started.
That's where he started.
And then Q102 came on. And at one time they were both together and Dallas was a powerhouse. But, the last DJ, Take the Stones coming, 80 years old, the last guys that play their licks and they aren't going to matter if it's this or that. You won't see them hitting an auto tune, or then you go and you buy bands and I hate to even say it, but some of the rock bands, I won't even say their names, are very disappointing because they've forgotten what it's all about, as far as playing goes. And it's, but then again, too, we talk about Kingfish, Sue Foley, Samantha Fish, Living Color, L.A. Guns, Tom Kiefer, Mr. Big. These are real rock bands that play real instruments, and you won't see them tapping a press play.
Not at all.
No,
at all.
Just like the Turnpike Troubadours as well. I will say this. I've seen from the start to where they are now, Turnpike, and even had the pleasure of doing shows with them. But it makes me feel proud to be an Okie and to see what they've done from the time when they first came back at the Canes, to see a show that moved you like no other than to see it at Billy Bob's. I haven't seen them in a big arena yet. Kind of worried about doing that. But but the baddest thing around was they played the other night on
Is it Jimmy Kimmel?
Yes.
Kimmel. Yeah.
And the scene of their light show and just the whole thing, the Oklahoma themed bass that they are.
You remember how loud that show was at the Canes? Everybody was singing every single
word.
Oh my gosh!
You're proud to be Okie. You know what I'm saying? And and then then you got this Evan guy that's just, this is going to be legendary, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Because the guy went through a lot of shit, and there was a time when he didn't even want to pick up a guitar.
No, he was done.
And
well, thank God he got past that. Because what they're doing now is really, really good.
You're absolutely 100% right.
They're really good.
But live music is still alive and kicking.
Oh, another farewell tour that is coming through the area. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Yes.
Oh, they're done?
Sugar
Yeah.
Creek, I believe.
Oh,
No,
wow.
they're playing at
Sugarloaf?
They're playing at Howard's, Seven Clans.
Seven Clans. That's where it's at.
You know, I saw them before too. I mean, you know, life is not just all about metal, and there's guys blues that just killing it right now. You know.
Next week on the 25th, Zach Malloy from the Nixons is doing a storyteller show at Beam Live, which
Right.
we've talked about. You know, he's written number ones for
Carrie
Shinedown,
Underwood.
Aaron Jones, Carrie Underwood, Tim McGraw, you know, all these artists, and he's going to play, you know, all of those and kind of tell the stories
Right.
behind them. So that's pretty cool. I like shows like that.
Right.
You know,
Well, I mean,
especially the song swap style. If it's you know, songwriters that I really like what they've written, those shows are awesome when they tell the stories.
You know, and just yeah, something like that is incredible. You know, I mean, it's just
Does VH1 still do the storytellers deal? Do they?
No, but a lot of those are up on Paramount Plus.
You know,
Like,
some of those were
behind the
good.
music. There's 30 episodes of Behind the Music that are up on Paramount Plus. I think I binged all of them over Christmas because
Yeah, but-
I was just like,
you know,
yes.
it's like nowadays that I see, it's like the vibe, the record shows. You know, now I'm seeing them everywhere. They're going to be in Tulsa. They're going to be here. They're here. They're spacing themselves out.
Okay, so there's a series that originally came out on Showtime, and it's an animated series, but it's like a documentary storytellers type deal, but all of the visuals are animation. And it was created by Mike Judge, the guy who
Oh,
created
wow.
Who did
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead. And it's called
King of the Hill.
It's King of the Hill. It's called Tales from the Tour Bus.
Oh boy!
And these are real stories about real artists and all of that. But
And where is this?
I found one episode available on the Roku channel,
Oh,
and it's
so it's one of these you're gonna have
all
to-
about Johnny Paycheck.
Oh wow!
And this was incredible. I'm totally gonna have to buy
Hey,
the whole
listen,
series
Johnny
so I can watch
Paycheck
it.
was you know.
Remember when they had? Was it David Allan Coe was on the Squidbillies?
Yeah.
Then unknown
Unknown
Henson, dude.
If you don't
Whatever
know,
happened to Unknown Henson?
Listen,
He's still around,
He's
bro.
around. Me and Carrie seen him twice.
I've seen him twice.
I seen him at that right next to Kane's, that bar right there that's in the back.
Yep.
They have a little patio. One night,
Sound Pony.
yeah. One night, me and Carrie went, and we went to see him, and we get there, and you could see it was like in July, and you could see behind the Tulsa skyline. Beautiful night. This dude comes walking on, shooting a gun. Ka-pow, ka-pow, ka-pow. That's how he entered. You know, and we're like, holy shit. And he's like, my name's Unknown.
Unknown Henson.
You know, and he just got it. It was killer.
I like them swamp women.
Yeah.
I like my chart topping hair. I like the sound of tumbling locks.
Carrie can do the perfect Unknown Henson.
They call me Unknown.
impersonation.
So good.
Yeah, that's
You know,
He's
so
really, really
I
funny.
mean, and then you got to look at the other thing. Kane's is 100 years old this year.
This year, they're going to do big things this year.
I mean, you know, think about all the artists that will play that might not, you know, that would, you know, that have already bypassed it. People come down and do like people who love the building. Jack White,
Green Day.
Black Keys,
and
Green Day.
And you know they're working on a documentary for Canes too, called Raising Canes.
Oh wow! But you know, just there's a whole lot of music. You know, the other day on the news it was talking about how tourism in Oklahoma is way up, and that the governor went on to say that we're becoming a destination state.
Well, they're getting ready to build a Hard Rock down on Lake
Yes,
Texoma.
you know, and so it's entertainment is blowing, And whether it be local entertainment, mid-size entertainment, it still blows my mind. You got bands like Living Colour going to play on a Monday in a 300 seater.
Unreal.
The baddest musicians in the world. And then you've got. But the question I would have to ask is where's the zoo in all this?
I haven't heard anything about the zoo.
I haven't either.
But I know this. I know that if you could only see one band in 2024 that's out there, I know what it is.
And they're coming.
They are. They're coming.
They're coming,
The Rolling Stones aren't playing the zoo amphitheater.
But let me ask you this. Have you heard of any opening acts for the Stones yet?
No, they don't do them till like right before. The other thing that I was going to tell you is about music is I have, my friend, his name is Ron. I call him the ticket guru.
He's a cool dude.
He's a way cool dude. But he calls me, all the time. He sends me photos and instas of where he's at, what he's doing. And so he calls me last week. He sent me some footage of like Billy Gibbons and Peter Wolf and Kevin Cronin. And he tells me
I want to go to that ZZ Top show.
Yeah.
At the Tulsa Theater.
Me too.
We got to go to that.
As
soon as you said Billy, I thought it was like, shit, that's the one I want to go to.
But there's a guy named Robert Ursaray, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts.
Jim Irsay.
Yes, Jim Irsay. So anyway, he buys memorabilia.
Oh, you were telling me about this.
And he buys memorabilia and hot rods. Well,
like high-end hot rods.
He has 3 shows that he does, and they're charity. But my friend Ron calls me, and he tells me, hey, I'm going to go to this show, and asks me if I'd ever heard of that guy. And, I didn't know. And Kenny Wayne Shepherd was the house leader, the house band.
The house band, yeah.
And so he proceeds to tell me that he went to this place and that the place was 5,000 seats. And the only way you could get a ticket to this event, you had to register online and they were free. Like if you got online and said you wanted, the limit was 8, but they're free. And so he said he got his tickets and he went, and he said that walking in,
into the venue or what?
Into the venue, he had 3 of his hot rods out there
on display.
Exhibits.
On display.
And then as you walked in too, he had exhibits, he said, of clothes and guitars and instruments that were his.
Of his personal collection.
Like these mobile museums that bands are doing.
Correct.
So anyway, so and this guy owns the Indianapolis Colts. So anyway, he says, the MC, whoever, I forget who it was, comes out and says, what's his name?
Jim Irsay.
Says Jim's not going to be here tonight.
He got sick.
Because he's sick. But he wants to send you guys regards and he wants you to have a great night. Have a good time on him. So Ron says they proceed, Kenny Wayne Shepherd starts jamming. And then here comes Peter Wolf. Here comes Ann Wilson. Here comes Buddy Guy.
It's like a who's who.
Yeah, just like, and here comes Kevin Cronin. And Kevin Cronin tells the crowd, he says, Jim's not here to make it tonight, but I want to tell you, he's one cool son of a bitch. He wants me to play this one song. And he said, he flew down a jet to pick me up, bring me here, and play that one song. He says, I'm going to sing it for him. So he sings it, and he says, then Billy comes out and
I want to know what the song was.
I asked him the same question.
To ask him.
I asked the same question.
This is what he said, too. He said they come to a point where they ask the crowd if they like Pink Floyd. And so Ron says that this black guitar Fender comes out and they give it to Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Kenny Wayne Shepherd goes on before he plays it and says, This is the guitar that David Gilmour wrote this song for Pink
Ursay
Floyd."
owns it.
And he said, and he paid like $4 million or 40.
He gave it to Kenny Wayne.
He gave it to Kenny
No
to
as a
play.
gift. As a gift.
And so they played 2 Pink Floyd songs.
The one that Gilmour wrote.
And Kenny Wayne Shepherd tells the crowd, "I've never done anything like this before, and I've never played a guitar that's so expensive." He's been the only one to ever play it.
Other than David.
Well, it's like that video I was telling you about of Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, where they handed him this extremely vintage, rare guitar that was worth millions of dollars.
Right.
You know, and he's like playing it, and he's like, "I can't believe I'm." You know, I think it was owned by one of the Beatles. He's like, "I can't believe I'm
this
playing
guy."
this.
You know, he bought it,
And
he
he
wants to share it. You know, and
No, he wasn't even there to give it to him.
He wasn't even there to give it.
Because he got sick.
They wanted him. He wanted him to play that guitar.
Was
That
was
song.
that this year?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was just yeah.
It was last week. And my friend was telling me, "You got to go to one of these." And I'm like, "Find out when the next one is."
Max like, "No, I don't want to do something like that."
He said, "Max, it is all free." He said, "Everybody there is having a good time on this dude, and that's all." He's like, he's got more money than whatever.
But that's what the guy
and that's
wants,
what
though.
the guy wants.
He wants everyone to go and
He's
have a good
made
time.
it to where he can give back. You know, some people give back in different forms. This guy's giving back. That's just like
Mind blowing.
right.
Isn't that awesome? I mean,
Unbelievable.
isn't that cool?
Unbelievable.
You know, Kenny Wayne Shepherd was the guy that got to play the guitar.
You know, every other one of those musicians on that stage were pissed.
Well, you know, I mean, look at it. You got Billy Gibbons and Buddy Guy jamming together. You know, he's like, that ripped it up. Peter Wolf, who's amazing.
Well, actually, we saw Billy Gibbons and Buddy Guy jam together down at Crossroads.
Yes.
Crossroads Mall, awesome. Yeah. Well, that would have been kick-ass.
That was before it closed down.
Did you guys have lunch at Garfield's and then check out the show?
That was when they had the indie go-karts in there.
That was awesome. I loved those. Those were
where
kick-ass.
where your parents could drop you off on Saturday if you was a teenager, and they could be rid of you for as long as the mall was open, and you could have a hell of a time, or you could get your ass in a lot of trouble. Which way you want to go?
Have you watched the recent documentary that came out about Willie Nelson? I think it's called Willie Nelson and Family.
No, I haven't seen that one. I heard about it.
Fuck, it is so good. It is unbelievable.
I saw his special with
his
when he
birthday.
turned 90.
His birthday
Yeah.
special?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's back to like that. It's
Him and Keith playing together is so cool.
Right, it was awesome.
That's so cool.
Isn't that Billy Joe Safer song?
Yeah, because I love Billy Joe Shaver.
The thing about it, you know, as I sit here and last week as I was sick and going through it, you know, you wake up and people die. You know, nowadays for me, you know, used to you could call people up and you know, what are we doing? Where are we partying? Who are we going to see? You know, let's hang out. And you know, as you get a little bit older, those kind of conversations aren't like that. Or you know, and the other day I woke up and my my aunt, who you know was mean to me growing up because I probably needed it, but I loved her dearly. You know, she passed away.
Pull your mic out a little bit.
And so, you know, me being sick and everything, and
That's your Aunt Esther, right?
yeah, her name was Esther Quintero, and you know, just the thoughts of it all, and so
Now tell people about your.
You know,
not that she was mean to you because you were a bratty little kid.
But my aunt was she was a character. I mean, she was a one of a kind. So, for all you people that know of, there was a clown in Oklahoma City back in the day. His name was Ho Ho, and Ho Ho had a puppet friend named Pokey. but Ho-Ho would ride around in clown uniform in a Volkswagen. He'd make personal appearances and tie them balloons and all that.
Every kid wanted to have Ho-Ho for their birthday party.
For the birthday or whatever. My aunt became friends with Ho-Ho and ended up becoming a clown, and they called her Lala the clown. And so, the other thing about my aunt was she was very very into red hats, and the Red Hat Society.
Wasn't there a club or something?
Yeah, it's a club called the Red Hat Society.
Is that where you got this red hat?
And I never, I thought all that was just kind of BS until I saw it in reality in like Miami, Oklahoma, and then seen her in action. But Lala, the clown, used to come to our, every year Easter, we have our family has a Easter egg hunt and a get together. And, they'd show up and tie the balloons for the kids and everything. But she passed away, and did a little reflection, but I couldn't go to the funeral because I was sick, and so my mom went, and I'm like,
was this your mom? This is your mom's sister,
my mom's
right?
sister,
Okay,
older sister, and so I told my mom, I said, so how was the funeral? And she's like, oh son, you would have loved it. She said the clowns showed up, they were there, 4 rows of them. And they
all come in costume?
They all came in costume.
Oh wow!
And they did a mime and they didn't speak. And the mime was they put a red nose on her in an open casket. And then
they put it on Aunt Esther.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And in the church or whatever it was. And then she said, and the Red Hat ladies were all out in force. There were 3 rows of them. And so to me, at first, I thought, clowns, huh?
Clowns and red hats at a funeral.
Clowns and red hats. And she's, and she just said it was so full of life. And I mean, hey, listen, kind of like this is what I told her. I said, so she had clowns to the left of her and jokers to the right. And
so it was a Steelers wheel.
She was, and I'm stuck in the middle with you.
Oh, wow.
But I got to thinking, hey, if I go out, that's how I'd like to go out. I mean, you got clowns at your funeral, dude, and the red hats. And like I told my mom, I said, in her honor, from this point on, the red hats I wear will be for her.
Well, you also had another friend that passed last year, and they made backstage passes for his funeral.
Yeah, that was Kevin. And, it was his. They made passes for him, but then they say death always happens in threes. The people you care, and a couple of days later, I woke up and one of my lawyers, her name was Rebecca Snyder. She was a kid lawyer when I'd gotten in trouble and lost my son.
Way back in the 90s.
No, this was the 2004. Yeah,
2004.
2004. She took my case, and lawyers want money, and I didn't have any. But we became close and good friends, and
didn't you take her to concerts?
Well, she passed. Her biggest, what she loved was concerts, music.
Right.
And I didn't have any way to pay her much cash, but at the time, my specialty, wanting concert tickets all over the world, and I was able to get her tickets, with having friends like Ron and everything, able to get whatever she wanted whenever she wanted. And, it became a pretty good thing. But the lady was, it was just like a mentor to me. She was somebody that when I wanted to give up, when I wanted to quit, when I would go to the courtroom and lose, it'd be somebody that
she was always in your corner.
Didn't give up on me.
That's good.
And I can remember one day I thought I was getting my kid back, and I didn't. And I rode with her. And she played the Beatles. She loved the Beatles. She played the Beatles in my life, that song.
Yeah.
And, it all came together through tears and just her driving me. And they said when she passed away that they had a circle of her family around her bed.
Right.
You know, and what got her was fucking cancer. You know, cancer. She beat it, and then it just happened and came back and destroyed her. But they said when she passed away, they passed away to a circle of life. They called it her family, and playing In My Life and Dear Prudence.
Is that why you were playing Dear Prudence when we were on the road the other day? Going to the Mr. Big Show.
Well, if you listen to the words of those songs, it describes her beautifully, you know, and you know the In My Life, the Beatles are saying, it's like you drive down there to reminisce and look around and everything's changed, you know, but she passed away and it just, I mean, that was those two were kind of hard to swallow, you know, so you're looking around and these are people that you're used to the norm and being there every day and all that, and they're not there. And then my brother, Greg Baker, there was a kid, you know, like me being the oldest in my family and being the black sheep of the family.
You're the oldest of 4 kids.
The oldest of 4 kids, and I was the one that everybody said, don't be like that guy. Don't do that, you know.
Especially your parents.
And so, well, even their parents. But they'd hang out with my brothers and everything. But there was a guy named Tommy Jeffries, and I'd known him since he was a kid. And he, you know, used to be in that racing motorcycle crowd.
So did he race with Greg?
Well, you know, he was kind of like in Greg's pits or something. They were always hanging out. You know, I mean, at one time, you know, like when you had a friend growing up, you were there at their house, especially if your house was better than theirs or whatever the case may be. Or
you thought it was better.
Or your mom cooked better food than them, you know.
Right, right.
But we had a swimming pool, so they had a lot of kids. I wasn't able to attend. But you know, that's another whole story. But the kid married, had children. You know, went to the heart doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Got a good bill of health, you know. So this is another thing that scared me when it was said. And so they like to ride bikes, mountain bikes, or whatever. Him and his wife went to Texas and they rode. And they stopped at one area and he told his wife that he wanted to go further up the hill. Well, he went up further up the hill and never came back. You know? So it just goes to show you that, you know, your time is blessed and enjoy it. And, you just, you know, and I mean, hey, you got a good bill of health. That's why you went and rode your bicycle. And, you know, was the doctor wrong or what happened?
But I know for sure after that, you're not intending to ride a mountain bike ever again, are you?
It's not that. It's not that. It's just, you know.
But you do never know.
It just what really happened.
You know, my dad went and saw a doctor right before he went to Sturgis, and because he was going to have a surgery when he got back, and he got the clean bill of health, and so, to do the surgery as soon as he got back, and he never made it back.
You know, that's
so you do never know.
I mean,
you know?
You know, it's you know, and it all pertains back to. And the crazy thing about my Aunt Esther, Lala the Clown, my brother tells me this. He says, Max, what had happened was, I don't know, she had a boyfriend, and he was a saxophonist, and so this was a long time ago. Maybe they were two-timing, who knows? But the saxophone, my brother Marco says, Max, you wouldn't believe it. she had the saxophone from way back in the day of so-and-so's birthday. But there was a kid, he said, I kept hearing this weird noise in the church, and it was this kid blowing on the sax. So he said that he didn't pay no mind to it. So when they went out to the burial site,
Graveside.
he said the guy starts wailing on the sax again.
This kid.
While they're talking, this kid, while they're talking to put her in the ground. And he said, Max, it was like perfect timing. When the service was over and the kid hit the last note, the 12 o'clock siren of Saturday went off.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So he got through playing the song.
It was like nothing I never seen or heard. So, and he told me, and that sounds like something she would do,
Wow.
She planned it to the T.
Wow.
The house is going in the ground.
Wow.
Wow. Long live Aunt Esther.
Wow. Rest in peace, Aunt Esther. Wow.
I mean, but it's that's why it's for me to understand that no matter what, we're not promised, but have as fun as you can, whatever passion you have, don't quit. Whatever you're going through, like, what I do, just give up, quit. I mean, there's a 50-50. Here's the thing.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. My name is Max Baker Jr. They lay me on a table and give me a 50-50. We'll see what happens. If I don't make it out, remember I love you all.